What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Another day, more sales, new year, lots of Christmas presents. We're all fatter probably because all the food we ate. And yeah, we're just having fun. So I'm back. It's been, I think, about 2 weeks. Been off, enjoying the holidays. You can see the dip in traffic in here. Between those days, I put my store on time away. Sales slowed down, got back, put it back up. Bam. Sales went back up. This is when I came. 16, came back, put it back on. I got 16 sales. So 16. So yeah, things have picked up. Today we only have 5. Again, a lot of people probably just going back to work, so they're not really shopping. One thing to point out is this 1.4 and 5.8. Just in these first couple of days of January, that's up to 1.9 and 6.0. So we'll have to see how that turns out. You want these both to be really high and this to be really low. So that's something I'm working on. That's just better items. I'll, of course, making sure you have your titles right and all that. Excuse me. Yeah. So that's that. We're doing good. We are getting rid of a lot of the $10 and under items. So those lower price items, they're going out of our store. So that's good. I shipped out, I think, I don't know, 47 items today, I think. And about 30 of them were $10 and under. So over half. And that's good because I want to get rid of them. I want to get them out of the store, and I want to move on to the better stuff. So the tough part with that is, you sell an item for $4 or $5, right? Something you shouldn't have bought in the first place. You're not losing money, but you're only making, let's say, $1 or $1.50. So it doesn't give you enough money to go out and buy something new when your buy cost. Right now, my buy cost average, well, it's a new year, so but for last year, my cost of goods was $4.19. So uh, obviously, if you're selling something super cheap, you're not going to be able to go out and buy something new. So not a ton of money coming into the bank account, but we're slowly working that way. Um, I just today finished a spreadsheet. So what I did is I went last time I went to the thrift. I don't remember when it was, a week ago or no longer than that. Right before Christmas. 50% off day, and my thrift store doesn't get a lot of traffic. So I live in a smaller town, so I'm not worried about all the competition. I go usually at 1 o'clock, and there's plenty of stuff for me to find. People just, I don't know what they're looking for here, but they leave behind a lot of good stuff. So anyway, so um, I went or on my spreadsheet. So I took my cost, which I think was 191.87. Added everything up that I've done drafts for so far. Oh, I think there's 6 items I haven't listed yet. 3 of them are coats and 3 of them are blazers. Um, so anyway, so far I'm at, I think, 850 something. So my cost of goods was almost $200. Let's just say $200. And right now my list price for all that stuff is $850. So even if you discount, let's just say you end up around 600, I'm going to 3x my money, right? So I wanted to do that because I wanted to see, okay, am I like, I know I say this item is good and I've done my research on it and everything, but I wanted that proof. I wanted that actual proof that yes, you are picking up good items now. We're not picking up those items for $1 that sell for $7, or will sell, but take a year and a quarter or a year and a half to sell. That's too long to get your money back. You gotta put that dollar in and you gotta get it back. If you get it back within 90 days, that's what you want. And that's what I want, but I'm not I'm getting better about it now, but I don't I didn't do it right to start with because I just thought everything will sell, right? So I just bought everything. That was $1, 50 cents, whatever. I was at the bins where I used to live back home. Got so much stuff. I mean, I would go to the bins and I would walk out with over 100 items. It's a lot. Just tons of items. I'd throw it all in the truck, drive it home, wash it. You guys know the process, but it wasn't the right stuff like I thought, right? So yeah, just not. It took me a while to learn everything, right? Because there's a lot to learn to eBay. The concept is super simple. Make sure you're going to sell something for more than you buy it, and make sure you sell it fast. Take the pictures, you list it, you put it away, something sells, shipping, like it's all simple in concept, but making sure you understand every single thing. Like when I first started out, I was just focusing on my processes. How can I, how do I take my pictures? I created my own inventory system. Um, and then I joined the Facebook group and I'm like, oh, I'm no genius. People do this. This is just how you do. You put an item number on the bag or whatever. I used reusable SKUs. Took a 4x6 index card, cut it in half, wrote the number on it. As items would sell, I collect SKUs, and I would just reuse them. Right? I just thought that's what you did, and I thought it would be a good system, and it was a good system. It worked for many years. This is better, right? Much better with the boxes. It was 8x8 by 30. 8 wide, 8 tall by 30 long on these custom built wooden racks. I'm not going to go pay $300 for a Husky rack. I can build my own for less than half price, I think it was. I actually calculated it out with my business partner when we built these. I'm like, how much? Like with screws and the wood and, everything. So, and some people might say, well, you could spend that time listing more products. True, but this is the maximum amount of space, right? Like these are designed to fit, right? It's measured out for the boxes to maximize the space, whereas a Husky shelf, it's just prefab, right? So I don't. You can argue that fact back and forth. It doesn't really matter. This is just what I did. I saved money, and I'm happy with them. But my point being, all I did was just refine my processes. I didn't focus because I didn't even know to think about, well, how long does it take for something to sell, and how long does it take to get that dollar back? Is this even a good item? Does anyone even want this item? Is it even on eBay? Like I have items that aren't even on eBay. Can't even find them when I search for them, meaning for comps, because it's some one-off brand from China or whatever that I picked up and I never should have because I didn't know. Right. So, um, you just, for me personally, and I think a lot of people probably like this, you don't, when you fail at something, that's when you learn the most. Because if you're successful, right, you're just like, guess I'm doing everything right. And you're just going along happy, making money, and you could be getting lucky or you could be doing everything right. Who knows? But often in those circumstances, you don't stop and analyze, hey, what are we doing? What can we improve? You always got to be trying to improve. So, anyways, that's the moral of the story. Always try to improve. That's why I got rid of all those items. And man, that was probably the best thing I did. And then discovering that we're running out of money, I was like, it was such an eye-opening moment. It was like the light bulb went off. I really understood. Not that I didn't know, obviously I knew you got to make money, right? You're not just doing this to do this. But I really broke down each sale and looked at the profit, understood where we were at, understanding the type of items we're selling, understanding the damage that's being done by these lower priced items, what it does to your store, what it does to your finances. And it's really a waste of time, right? Because everyone has to have this in their mind. If I'm going to go and list a shirt, a stereo, a dish, or whatever, right? is it worth my time? Like, what's the minimum amount of profit I need to make per item to make it worth my time? Because if I say, okay, will you do this for a dime? No, that's too cheap. Will you do it for $100? Well, yeah, everyone would. This one item make $100. Would you do it for $3 profit, $9 profit, $15 profit? Like, what's that number per item? And then you build your business around that. That's why the people that are just starting out, they have the advantage because they don't have to fix all these mistakes. As my store gets bigger, it's harder to fix these mistakes that I'm making. And so hopefully someone will, that's smaller will find this information, whether it's from me or another good source, right? Not all the information out there is good, right? Um, and then they can get started off on the right foot. And they can say, wait a minute, what do you mean sell-through rate? Well, how do you calculate that? And, how do you know what items to buy? And don't worry about taking the photos and the listings and all that. Let a freaking listing take you an hour to do. As long as you got one good item, that's all you need. You get faster at it. You'll refine your processes. It's kind of a natural progress, I think. And I should have let that happen more than trying to force it and just focusing the majority of my energy on that. Now, there does come a certain point, though, where it's like, okay, I'm taking a half an hour to do photos for one item and a half an hour to list. I got to get faster. But the most important lesson will be, yeah, I got to find good items to sell fast. Just look on eBay. What's good and what's selling fast? What can I get? Can I get that brand? Can I get Gucci? No, it's too high. Risk to sell. Can I get some vintage Tommy Hilfiger or Ralph Lauren shirt? In my area, if I, well, I find vintage Ralph Lauren, but it's not great vintage Ralph Lauren, right? So I'm never gonna find probably like a Suicide Ski, anything like that. I would be very surprised if I found it. Um, so that being said, knowing what to buy, whatever your category and your sell-through rate, that's the main thing. That's what makes or break your business. This other stuff, photos, listing, like when it comes to listing, I'm not fast. I don't know why it takes me so long. Um, I'm not that fast at doing my drafts. It's like 2 to 3 minutes a draft. And I just, it's like sometimes I can get it faster. And I try to bulk list, meaning, well, for one, I do a lot of items at once, like 20, let's say. But I try to do, like, I'm not doing like a button up shirt, women's sweater, men's shorts, some swim trunks, women's cardigan, women's dress, a blazer. Like I don't mix it up. Like I try to, all right, here, let's do 10 polo shirts and 10 pairs of pants, whatever. I try to keep the items similar. Excuse me, as I hang them up over here on my Z rack. I try to keep like, okay, this is women's sweaters and this is men's polo. Speeds up your listing process, but I don't know. I think I'll improve on it. I'm not too worried about it. I get all my work done easily in a day. Like I can do everything in only listing 10 now. So even if I do 20, say it takes me 3 minutes to list, that's an hour. It takes me maybe a minute to do a photograph, my photographs now. So there's an hour and we said 20. So we'll say hour and a half. Um, shipping, pulling the items, say another hour. I could probably work 3 hours a day, but I do other things, you know, do YouTube videos. You got to do wash, you got to prep items, you got to keep things clean. A lot to do. I'm excited because my business partner's coming in a week and a half. Martin Luther King weekend. Next weekend. Wow. I didn't realize that. Yeah, next weekend. And so we're going to go through inventory. That's another important thing to do. Inventory. I would recommend once a quarter do an inventory, which if you have 15, 20,000 items and you're by yourself, especially, that's a tall task. But got to make sure you have the stuff you say you have. So we're going to do inventory. And the great thing is, why we do inventory, see, he's going to be on the laptop calling out a number. I'll be on the ladder. right? I'll have a box, all the numbers going through. And then as we go along, we can condense all the boxes because I guarantee you there's probably 30, 40, 50 extra boxes here. Once I condense everything down, I'll have probably a free shelf over there. So we're going to do that. So we'll be doing two things at once, inventory and combining our boxes. Then build, uh, I think we're going to build two shelves. We're going to do one, I know you guys can't see, but we're going to do one along this wall. And then we're going to do one kind of in the middle because there's racks against the wall already, right? If you saw my tour video, you'll know it's that back corner. And then I have all these tubs with coats in them. So we can condense that more. We can move them up a little bit or out of the way. We can build a shelf there. And then we're going to clean up. Got to do some cleanup. Because my basement, right, it's unfinished. So it's concrete floor. It just gets dirty. So like every week I like to clean. But we're going to do a really good cleaning, get better organized. And then we should have time. All that should take one day, maybe a little less. Because it doesn't take for two of us to build the racks now that we've built so many of them. It's not going to take long. Probably do a rack in half an hour, maybe. Um, so we can build a couple racks, right? And then we could do all the inventory. The inventory, obviously, that's going to take the longest. And we're going to do that first. And then we'll just probably list. And we'll probably get everything listed that's here. Meaning we'll probably be maybe 2 months out. I don't know. I want to make sure we have all the coats listed. I do have some coats left. I want to get all of them listed before uh, before it's not coat season anymore. So, but I am getting a little kind of low. I I think I have about 2 weeks, so 140 pieces maybe. It is going by at a pretty quick rate though, because I don't like to just do 10 a day. That's too little. So, um, I'll probably hit up the thrift store. Maybe today's what, Wednesday? Is that right? No, today's Tuesday. Yeah, today's Tuesday. I'm sorry. I thought it was Wednesday. I don't know what I was thinking. So maybe Friday. We're supposed to have a big snowstorm this weekend, starting on Friday, which I love snow, so that's just kind of a random thing to throw out there. But anyways, maybe we'll go to the thrift store. And so, yeah. And if you don't know, I'm the reason I explain all the things that we're working on and doing, give people ideas, but also, this is a vlog. I'm documenting my journey. I'm documenting what it's like to actually be a reseller. And there's a lot of resellers out there who have videos on YouTube, and I'm not saying they're bad people or anything, but they're already so far ahead, right? They're already successful. They already have, 30, 40,000 items and making millions of dollars. And no, I'm not referring to tech, but I'm just saying there's people out there that, well, I guess I kind of am referring to him, but I think he has more of a understanding of, or maybe it's just a remembrance of what it was like to first start out, right? He talks about that often. But there's some out there that just they're so far ahead that's maybe you feel like you can't relate to them. They're so far, they don't understand, they don't remember, um, just super successful and don't are unrelatable. I guess that's the best word for it. So that's why I like to do this. I like to get in here and look at the actual numbers, show you what's going on in my store, tell you the struggles, tell you the mess ups that I've had, so that hopefully people won't make the same mistake. They can learn from my mistakes. I'm trying to learn from my mistakes always and stay in that fine line between learning and overanalyzing because that's something that I'll do. I'll really dive into the numbers. It's great to do that every once in a while, but you can't just dwell on the numbers either. Oh, I've only sold 5 today, right? Sold 5 today? Yeah. You know what? Some days I'm going to sell 20. It just all averages out. Oh, and excuse me. That reminds me, I wanted to, speaking of numbers, I should have done this at the beginning of the video. Probably not a lot of people watch this far into a video. I don't know. Here's what we did for December. I think it was 9 point something. Oops. 9.67 sales per day. I expected, or I knew December would be down compared to last month, which was 13 point. Is that right? 13 or 11 or 13? I can't remember. I think it's 13. Um, I knew it was going to be down because I knew my store was going to be shut off half the month, basically. So I'm happy with this. I know things are in the red and down, but guess what? I'm still alive and kicking, and so is the store, right? And then, oh, you can't do year on this. You can only do it on the overview. So there you go, people. That's all I got. That's all I got for today. I hope everyone's doing well. I think we'll talk about goals next time if I remember. Excuse me. Goals are important. In fact, I'm going to make a note right now. Goals is important. You know, some people think that it's, I don't know, almost taboo to talk about goals or just, I know what I want to do. I just want to be successful. But apparently, if you have goals, right? Say you made a list, just and you don't go crazy 50, 60 items, but say you go like 10 items, right? Write them down on a piece of paper, your goals for the year, and you post them where you're going to see them every day. That helps to remind you and helps to keep you on track to achieve the goals. So we'll get more into that next time, I think. And maybe tomorrow I'll do another video. I'll start doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the people respond. So, anyways, that's going to do it for today. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.